Hello, welcome back to 100 Days of the 100's. My name's Marla, and we're going to get into this. Now we're at about day 5, so hopefully you're following along with me. You can always go back to the beginning and just join in, follow along. Let's get ourselves comfortable here, do a bit of a warm-up, and then let's see if we can progress our 100's today to get a little closer to the full thing. Let's separate our legs a little bit. We're going to warm up our feet, flex and point those feet. One of the things I love most about Pilates is that all of the exercises in Pilates, they strengthen our body in a way that opens the joints, that leaves us feeling long and open, and it strengthens us for everyday movements in life. It opens our body while we breathe, while we stay in a fairly relaxed state. So, and we like to make everything as whole body as possible. That's why we're warming up our feet here today. Even in the 100's, we're going to dome our feet. So we've talked about the little spoons with our hands. We've talked about our percussive breathing. Let's talk about doming our feet. So I was a dancer, and it was pretty typical for me to have to stretch my feet or point my feet. Doming is a little bit different. We want to reach the foot pad away, and then we want to curl the toes almost a little bit. If you could go just below the foot pad and push up, you just kind of want to wake up those muscles at the bottom of the foot. So it looks a little more like that than a typical dancer where you're just trying to push. That can kind of jam at the back of the ankle a little bit. There's a time and a place for that, but right now we're looking at waking up those muscles on the bottoms of our feet. So I'm going to flex my foot. I'm going to start to curl my toes as I reach them away and try to keep that articulation. Now this is a picky detail, right? Maybe that's more detailed than you want to get, but this is called doming your feet. And it's similar to those spoons that we make with our hands, and it's another way that we can make our Pilates exercises more whole body. Okay, let's just turn towards our right leg, tip your pelvis, slide your hands forward here. Let's just open up the hamstring on that side. Soften your head and neck. Let's bring the elbow inside the leg, and we're going to turn that into a little bit of a side bend. Reaching up, looking up to open the chest. Turn your palm down and give yourself a nice little stretch here. And then circling forward. And we'll roll up. Let's try that on the other side. So we're going to turn towards our left leg, tipping forward here for a nice hamstring stretch at the back of the leg into those attachments to the pelvis. Let your head fall. Then we're going to bring the elbow just inside. Open this arm up and reach up, look up. And we'll turn that into a little bit of a side bend here. Reaching out through the fingers. Give your head a little wiggle. Take a breath in. As you exhale, circle forward. And we'll roll up. Okay, let's bring the soles of our feet together. Massage the bottoms of your feet. Tell your feet that you want them to dome while you're doing your 100's today. All right, leaning back, bring your feet flat. We'll rock our knees from side to side. And then let's start to do some rollbacks, warming up our spine here. So taking the back of your thighs, inhale as we come right up on our sit bones, and exhale as you curl back. Floating forward and up, we'll just do that 3 times, and rolling back. Little bit further each time, and rolling back. Curling forward. And now this time we're going to come all the way down and roll onto our back. So we're just going to roll our way down. Open the arms out wide. Walk your feet in a little closer and rock your knees from side to side. Bring your hands down by your hips now. We're going to do a couple of pelvic curls. Curl your tailbone to your pubic bone. Spread the toes. Press down through your arms. Relax the middle of your throat. Good. You can roll to your outer foot, to your inner foot, to your outer foot, to your inner foot, and then feel the 4 corners of your feet lift a little higher. Now curl the tailbone as we come down. Palms on your belly. Take a few breaths here. Relax your ribs. Now, noticing here, Can you relax here with your natural lumbar curve? Remember, one of the things we try to do is not just crunch the spine by pushing it flat into the ground. We want to be in our natural curves of our spine and still be able to access our strength. All right, let's bring our knees in. Walk the pelvis away so your spine feels nice and long. Let's do one set just with the legs bent and coming up into our curl. I'm going to dome my feet here a little bit, hug my knees together. If they start to cramp, if your feet start to cramp, just flex them. So if you see me suddenly flex my feet, it just means that I got a cramp in my foot muscles. Inhale to prepare. As you exhale, lower your chin. Lengthen as you come up into your curl. Let's dome our hands, dome our feet. Inhale. Let's start with a 3 pulse. One more. Now move your knees a little bit past center and we'll try a 4 pulse. Let's inhale, exhale. And one more. Lower your hands, lower your feet, and just give yourself a little rest here. Let's do our rotation on the floor. So I'm going to bring one knee up, place that ankle inside my knee, let the legs fall to one side, and I'm going to turn and look away from that knee just for 2 or 3 breaths here. Try to press the opposite shoulder down. Now I'm going to press my shoulder, press my ribs down to come up. Let's do that on the other side. Bring the other foot inside the knee, let the legs fall. I like to take my hand on top and then turn and look away from your knees. And sometimes it's nice to just rock here a little bit, rolling into the twist, out of the twist. Now I'm going to reach my knee down as I reach out through my fingers. One more breath. And let's come back. Okay, so let's try our 5 pulse with our legs stretched out. So I'm going to bring my knees in. I probably won't do 10. We're still building up to doing 10. We're kind of breaking it up into smaller pieces. I won't do 10 now, but I'll probably do about 5 or 6. I might not even count, so just do what you can with me and let's just see where we go. So I've got my knees bent to start with. I'm going to inhale. Exhale, lengthen the spine and flatten as I curl, so I'm not just crunching at the front. Okay, and then I'm going to stretch my legs out. So obviously this is going to be much harder than this, right? This is a lot easier, less of a challenge for my lumbar spine. Holding my legs way out here is really challenging. I've got to counter that weight with my abdominal muscles. So this is going to be a little bit easier. This is going to be a little bit easier. So see where you want to go. Let's try our 5 pulse breath now. One more. Good, and then take a little rest here, relax your neck. It is quite strengthening for our neck muscles, so you might find it a bit of a challenge. Remember that if it's too much for your neck, you could always just hold and support your head and look down at your belly and just do the same thing. So that's another option. Take a few breaths. Relax your shoulders, soften your throat, soften your face. Slow your breathing down. And of course, while you're here, do any other stretches that your body's asking for. Use your intuition. You can stay on the floor. I just want to say thank you for joining me. Yeah, now that you're on the floor and you've kind of woken up your core, you might feel, yeah, I know exactly the stretches I want to do. How you start to create your personal practice is by listening to your own intuition. And if I can be a guide for that, then that's one of my greatest joys in life. Thank you so much for joining me, and we'll see you tomorrow. you.